Hello and welcome to another weekly market update after the market closed on the 13th of September 2019. Excuse my voice, just getting over a cough, and if I have the occasional splutter, please forgive that. We're going to look at the big picture first of all for the overall market, the S&P 500, because that dictates just about everything, a lot of other things. Then we'll look at cryptocurrency, maybe the odd stock pick as well, because things are getting back on track. As I said last weekend, I made this a brand new bull market signal. Last time my system gave one of those was back here in November 2016, and then we said go to cash 22nd of October. So almost a year later of messing around, of saying to stay in cash, the market has given me my signal now. It's not foolproof, but I mean there's a system in place that gets me out, and I'll update you about that if that happens. But right now I'm having all my boxes ticked to say brand new bull market, and the most leveraged way to play that is with UPRO, UPRO, which is basically 3 times, I'll put it in here, that's basically 3 times the market, and that's proven to go over the last 37 years using this system. It generates approximately 36% a year. So that is the official call that's in. Let's see on the daily chart here, the short-term chart, to see what's going on. As we can see, as I mentioned a week before last, this line of resistance here formed a very nice little channel here, and I did say that whichever way this broke, above or below, would tell you what happens next, and it broke above and then it went above. So it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do, behaving itself. So that was already a call that you could have made money from. What's going to happen next? The market is running hot. Doesn't mean it can't stay up there, but wouldn't be surprised to see any kind of correction, pullback, and as long as it stays above that old resistance line, which is now new support line, as long as it stays above that, all is in good shape. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a bit of consolidation here over the next week or two. But hard to say, down or uptrend right now. You really have to just say it's kind of, could be either, depending on what happens this week. But as long as it stays above that, the market is intact for this brand new bull market call. Let's look at a couple of stocks I was checking out. VeriSign is a credit rating agency, and let's look at the longer term chart here. By the way, if you've got DVDs and you're wondering what's going on here, none of this chart stuff is going to make sense, or all your course material or DVDs, none of this is going to make any sense until you've looked at that and learned how to look at charts. So study that first for this to have any meaning for you. What I like about this one is that it's been so reliable about not getting it below its 40-week. And not to say what happens next, but the great thing about this one is that if I'm wrong, I'll get out if it closes below that line there on the daily. But that right now is a kind of safe entry point. As soon as it closes below that, I won't have lost anything, hardly, but I have plenty of upside. This stock's still in an uptrend. And the other stock I was looking at is PEGA. Remember, just manage the downside and let the upside take care of itself. That's all we're trying to do, manage risk. This one you can see it's got an uptrend going now, pointing upwards there on the moving average, and it's got a sideways, nice sort of chugging along sideways, colliding with it. And on the daily we can see that line right there. So that's a tidy line of support. I'd want it to get down to, I'd set an alert for this to come down to like 68, around 68, 69 at the most. That would be a great entry point, and a stop loss if it breaks below that on the daily, say about 66. Because that's quite a tidy line of support right there. Seems to have been fairly reliable in the 40, but it's more about that line of support I'm looking at with this one. So that is going to be the fail-safe line, and waiting for it to drop down to that as an entry point. Let's look at Bitcoin and all the cryptocurrency complex. Not much change here. The story is the same. Did very well, and it's waiting for this 40-week moving average to catch up with it, and it's now got this aggressive upwards line, and chugging along sideways, waiting for it to catch up. Let's look at the short-term chart here, the daily chart. Remember, this is an ETF of Bitcoin. It's representative of Bitcoin. This is not the actual Bitcoin price, but it smooths out a lot of the volatility. And there's that line of support. As long as it stays above that, I think the uptrend is looking good. In fact, it could be a good entry point here once that 40-week moving average does catch up with it, collides with it right there, creating a nice little crosshairs. If I look at the cryptocurrency league table, you can see Bitcoin, not much change here. Bitcoin is still way ahead in the lead, and that's what a lot of that behind behind that rise, with Ethereum still in second place, Ripple in third. Not much change to the others down here, and the blockchain cryptocurrencies is the that shadow banking system that we talk about, because it really just cut out the banks, and that's what Ripple is an attempt to do here, is to make a fight against this shadow banking system here, this XRP. That's one's backed by the banks, but Bitcoin, as you can see by capitalization, is in no danger from that project right now. So that is don't forget, yes, if you want to join the BitClub mining, bitclubnetwork.com is the name of the website, bitclubnetwork.com, and when you get there, you're going to need to know I'm your sponsor, and I'm just going to type it in just here right now. You need to enter Bits and Pieces as your sponsor name when you get to bitclubnetwork.com, and that's the way to buy your mining shares, which effectively allows you to own a piece of mining Bitcoin, which is explained in the course material. And now is a great time, as you can see by that chart. So that's all for now, and I will speak to you next time.